Hello everyone and welcome to this new video from Free Dreams 106 channel. Today we are back to talk about HueForge and I want to start another mini-series, let's say. I've been thinking about it for a while and I was really looking forward to share my experiments with you. In fact, in this new series we are going to test HueForge combined with different specialty filaments. For example, silk, or in today's case, glow in the dark. So in this video I will briefly introduce you to glow in the dark PLA and show you how to use it in your HueForges to create some really crazy effects. So let's cut the chase and get into it. Let's start by introducing today's filament. Probably some of you have already heard about it because it's a super interesting material. In fact, glow in the dark PLA has the peculiarity of glowing in the dark. You only need to go into a dark room to test its effect. The one I will use in today's video is GlowJet from Filament PM, who kindly sent it to me. This particular spur is semi-transparent to light, but it turns a beautiful green color when the print is placed into a dark room. So let's dive deeper into this material. Glow in the dark uses special additives that enable it to achieve this property. This means that to print it you need to use a nozzle that is suitable for abrasive materials, possibly larger than 0.4 millimeters in diameter. In all honesty, I've printed all these HueForges and a bunch of tests with a 0.4 nozzle, and yeah, the hot end of my K1 clogged. So if you want to use a 0.4 nozzle, make sure to print just a little GlowJet and to clean the hot end, possibly with a cold pool, before a new print. Anyway, this material is PLA, so there are no particular parameters to change in your slicing profiles. You should safely print it with your standard profile. Before moving on to the HueForge tutorial, let me specify something. Glow in the dark PLA needs to be recharged, like a phone battery, but with light instead of electricity. So leave your prints made with this filament near a window or a light bulb. In this way, when you take them into the dark, they will shine brightly. The more the filament recharges, the better and brighter the shine will be when the lights are turned off. So now let's move on to the computer to see how we can take advantage of this beautiful filament to create some stunning HueForges. Okay, so here we are at the computer to take a look at the process on which you can create these beautiful HueForges. I've experimented with this with some tests and trials, and I've found a workflow that I think it's pretty simple and it's easy to replicate. So let's start with this guide. And I want to specify that I'm going to use the color match mode. I've created an entire tutorial about it, so I will leave the link right there for you, because if you don't know how to use this technique, you might not understand what I'm doing in this video. So definitely check it out. Now that we have opened our HueForge interface, we can import the image that we want to use. I've chosen the Cheshire Cat as the first subject because I think it's perfect for this kind of print. In fact, I want to lit up the eyes that I think will look super cool in the dark. So let's start by simply creating our HueForge with the color match mode, how we would normally do. I will start by importing my black, my white, the gray I want to use, as well as a blue. I've created a teal filament that I don't own, but I want to use to give some better instructions to HueForge when using the mesh core. In the color core I will use a deeper blue filament. So now I can elaborate the image. As I've shown you in the other tutorial, I will start with the background, and since I want the eyes to be the highest areas, I will drag the teal up as the last color on the scale. Now I can adjust the layers to create the effect that I want, and I think that we are good for the mesh core. Now we can start creating the color core like we would normally do. I will show you the trick in just one moment. So let's drag our filaments. Okay, and I will replicate the layers that I have in the mesh core column. Here is the trick, and it lies in these two little lines. As I've explained to you in the other tutorial, those lines represent the saturation of the color. So if we add more layers to this, to the white, we won't have any effect on the gradient. These layers are key for our prints, for our HueForge glow-in-the-dark prints, because we will use them to add the glow-in-the-dark layers. In fact, now I can drag a little bit down the blue, and I can add the glow-in-the-dark filament. As you can see, it doesn't affect the color, but it will create the effect, the glow-in-the-dark effect that we like. Why? Because glow-in-the-dark filaments are super transparent. The TD I set for my GlowJet is 20. You can simply create a filament by clicking on New Filament, selecting a yellowish color, and naming it. I've chosen 20 TD because glow-in-the-dark filaments tend to have a TD between 20 and 40, and honestly I've not tested it, but if you want to keep it safe, you can use a test and calibrate it precisely. So in this way we have achieved exactly what we want. We have our HueForge, and on top of the eyes there will be 3 layers of glow-in-the-dark filament that will lit up the eyes in the dark. I would suggest you use 3 to 5 layers of glow-in-the-dark PLA, because in this way you will have a great effect without spending a bunch of time, material, etc. That would be a waste. You can also do it for the smile if you want. For example, we can use these 3 layers, so let's bump down the white and we can add the glow in the dark here. So in this case we will have both the eyes and the smile lit up in the dark. A small tip I want to give you is to use and select the right images, because the original image that I've downloaded is this one. As you can see, there's a gradient in the eyes, there's a gradient in the teeth, and there's also a light in the eyes. This is possible to do with this technique, but it confuses HueForge and you waste a bunch of time. So if you want to keep it simple, I would suggest you modify the image like I did and use uniform shades. So this is the process I personally use to create those awesome HueForges. Specifically for this video I created a couple of my own and printed one that I've downloaded online. I'll leave you to the link to the filament that I'm using, as well as the model that I've downloaded, down in the description. Let's start with the one that I found online. It was the first one I printed, just to test the water and see if I might like the final effect. It intrigued me a lot because the photos had created pretty high expectations. So here's the first print of an alien invasion scene, and I thought it was perfect for this kind of filament because it shines green in the dark. As a first experiment I really enjoyed it. But now let's take a look at the pair of HueForges that I've created. I went for some simple images that I thought would match well this material, but of course you can apply the process I've just shown you with some complex images as well. As I anticipated, the first subject that I've chosen was the Cheshire cat. I did several tests to obtain a satisfactory result, as well as a workflow I would be comfortable to share with you. So here is our nice friend. I've decided to make his eyes lit up, but I might as well print one with a bright smile too. It's simple, but in my opinion very cute. And the Cheshire cat is one of those subjects that goes very well with this kind of filament. In fact, you can even print the 3D model of it with this material, and I think the result would be magical. The last print I want to show you is floral. I wanted to create a bookmark to show all the little flowers. So I chosen a Japanese style design and printed all the little flowers with glow in the dark PLA. I honestly love the final effect, and I think I will create a collection of bookmarks with this technique. Maybe in the right format, but I hated to cut it for the video. This is a very versatile filament. You can print toys, children's rooms decorations, furniture for your house, even functional pieces like exit signs. If you want to print some standard models with this filament, make sure you increase the infill percentage and the number of walls, because in this way there are more particles on your print that can catch light and release it when it's dark. Another tip I want to give you to use this kind of filament is this one. If the glow isn't bright enough for your taste, try different light sources as well as increasing the exposure time. I had a lot of fun creating this video, and I have a bunch of ideas to use this filament in future projects. For example, I would love to create a second version of my clock with my logo, this time with the numbers that light up when it's dark because of glow in the dark filament. So Let me know down in the comments if you have already tried this kind of material, and in the meantime, if you liked this video, you might also like this one.